Hi everybody, Michael Szynski. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the monthly mentorship program because there's only a week left on the Try It special. But having said that, I wanted to share a little experience I had this past week. And I felt that was a good enough lesson to share with you, or an insight. But something happened just seconds ago which kind of possibly even shifted that around a little bit, maybe made it a little bit more important. So last week I went to see my daughter. She lives about an hour south of Detroit, and I don't see her as often as I want. She lives 2,000 miles away. I've been fortunate enough to see her a few times, very frequently recently, and it's been amazing to experience that love from your family, which many of you may know, or many of you will know. She's 9 years old. We had a birthday party for her, and as you know, being around a bunch of 9-year-old hopped up on sugar little children, it's an interesting experience to say the least. So I found myself drained, lots of love, lots of attention, but lots of scattered energies. And the day I was leaving, I had a whole afternoon to let go. So I wanted to have an experience. And if you ever go into around Detroit, you always see signs for Ann Arbor and University of Michigan, and everyone talks about how beautiful it is. And I've had friends who went to the University of Michigan. They always talk about their time in Ann Arbor. I've wanted to visit Ann Arbor for the longest time. Here was an opportunity. Everyone's like, why are you going? I'm like, I don't know. I just feel called to go to Ann Arbor. I've always wanted to go to Ann Arbor. I wanted to maybe just go to a cool little coffee shop. I hear some amazing restaurants there. I had a whole afternoon planned. What? I didn't really know, but it's just possibilities. So I went out there, and I felt like I was called out there. I reached out to one of my friends who graduated from University of Michigan, and I said, where do I go? And she started giving me some ideas, and she mentioned a park, and I just happened to be right by that park, where I was like within literally 2 blocks when she sent me that message. Like, oh, there's the park right there. So I went over to the park, and I went in, and the entrance to the park wasn't exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for the greenery of being back east, just the trees, the pine trees, the oaks, the maples, the shade. It was a beautiful fall day, and I was really happy to be wearing a hoodie. I mean, it's fall here. It's starting to be fall here in Arizona, but still 90 degrees, but you can feel it in the air. But, so I started to walk into this park just trusting, and I walked through this field. It started to get actually hotter than I anticipated, and I was dressed in a hoodie, as I mentioned, and I walked into the park, and I just felt myself starting to ground a little bit. I'm like, okay, this isn't what I was looking for, but there's something magical here. And I walked a little deeper, and the path veered off to the left, but there was this dirt path, something that I probably in the past would not have taken, but I was like, no, I'm gonna take that path. I don't know where it goes. If it goes somewhere I'm not supposed to be, I could apologize, I could turn around, all that stuff. So I started to walk up the path, and the path took me to this magical place where the trees formed a canopy, and you walked underneath, and there's a birdhouse off in the distance. I have a really cool picture of that out in the field from underneath the canopy. And I sat there, leaning against a tree, just listening to nature, just experiencing the coolness that I was seeking. And it was so beautiful. And then, okay, thank you. And I walked off a little bit more. And I found this garden where there's this giant gazebo, and there's a few people hanging out, but there's plenty of room to be by yourself. So I found this beautiful park bench. I sat down, and it felt like time just stopped. So I probably sat there for about an hour. I had a chipmunk run underneath my legs, and just had an experience with the chipmunk. The chipmunk kept going. He'd run 5 feet ahead, stop, look at me for 5 minutes, or at least it seemed like 5 minutes. And the chipmunk would run off in the distance again, turn around, and we'd stare. And I felt my entire physiology start to shift and change, and just come back down to my body. All my thinking slowed down, and I felt peaceful. I felt a peace that I may have not felt in a while, and everything stopped. I put my phone down. I didn't check my phone. I turned, I reached over, I grabbed a leaf that was still on a tree, and I held it, and I just watched all the insects come over around my fingers, just experiencing life. And then when I was done, I probably spent an hour and a half in this park, just really silent and really still. And I realized that's all I needed. That's everything I wanted. If I had a prescription from the universal doctor, this is what I was given. And I just sat there. I stood up. I'm like, well, I still have a few hours if I want. And I was like, no, you're fine. Go home. Go to your daughter's home. Pick her up from school. Spend an extra hour with her, and then go to the airport and take off. So what I'm trying to say is, listen when things guide you to things, even when they don't make sense. When I was there, one of the thoughts I had was, oh, this reminds you a little bit of this place I have outside of Phoenix, actually in Chandler. It's close to where I used to live. It's actually part of the apartment complex I used to live in. And it was this hidden little hideaway with pine trees and just beautiful trees and getting canopies and green, luscious grass and little rolling hills. And it's right on the side of where people get off from the highway, but it was blocked by all the foliage, and it was a little hidden oasis in the desert. And I felt like it was only my oasis, because whenever I'd come here, I pretty much was only the only person ever. And I'd put my bare feet in the grass, I'd read books, I had just magical experiences here. I'd look up at the sky through the trees. I felt like the trees and the plants talked to me. It was so beautiful and nurturing. It was my oasis. Even when I moved from this apartment complex, I found myself coming back here all the time. It was amazing. So today, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna come out here and talk to people about listening. Sometimes we think we need something, but we don't. It's not what we think, it's what we're called to. And when we get it, listen and stop. Because maybe what we think we need isn't it, but what we thought we need was to step beyond what we actually needed, and that thought process is what we needed to touch into, actually, to get us to here, even though we wanted to go there. So I come here today, and everything has changed. They haven't watered the grass in a long time. It's dirt, and it's actually like yellow and brown grass now. They cut branches down. So this beautiful canopy, I look at these trees and they're cut like 30 feet high, the branches are gone. It doesn't resemble any of the oasis that I had before. So first I came in and I was like, oh, and I had a much more professional type of situation. I had a tripod, and the only place that looked remotely decent was on a little bit of a hill, and the tripod couldn't handle that. And I actually got a little frustrated and I left. But my beautiful little water bottle, down the seat over there, was here. And I was like, oh, I was like, you know what, let me leave the tripod behind. Let me just come in and sit down. So what I'm offering to you is listen. Find the things where your body exhales and listen, because we don't always know if we have the next opportunity. I could have pushed that off, and I could have fought to go see the University of Michigan and went to a really cool restaurant and had a sandwich, which probably was delicious, but I'd get a sandwich any day of the week. We have opportunities. We're such intelligent beings, and wisdom flows through us all the time. Do yourself a favor and listen, because sometimes what you're going to hear is, it's going to tell you to just shut up and be, and that's the most important thing you can do. So I encourage you just to listen and to just be, because you don't know when you're going to have that opportunity again. So if you want, share a spot with me. Share a spot where you did listen. Share a spot where you thought you had multiple opportunities. We all know life can change in an instant, sometimes for the better and sometimes for what seems like the worst. So just allow yourself to take advantage of those opportunities. And if you ever get a chance to go to Ann Arbor, I have a park for you to visit. It's a stunningly beautiful park, especially around the fall time. So I want to talk to you about the monthly mentorship program. September 22nd, my birthday, is the last day for the test drive special. It's $100 a month. And what you get is you're going to get 2 30-minute coaching sessions. And I've been doing this for a few people so far, and it's been an amazing experience. I personally love it. I have some emotional coaching I'm doing. I have some business coaching, some really big potential things that are coming down for this person. Huge game-changing things. And it's really beautiful to be a part of that. Because even in the real world, there's this other emotional intelligence, spiritual aspect that comes in. Something deeper, it works on all levels. So even in the business world, these principles, these philosophies, these innate intelligences that we have show up. So you get 2 30-minute coaching sessions a month. You get a written lesson, or audio or video. I find that wherever I'm inspired is what's going to show up. So today the video showed up. Last week it was an audio session. You're also going to be getting the ability to have me on call. There's certain days you have me on call. And actually, it's the majority of the week, actually. And I've been doing this my whole life, and many of you have probably reached out to me in a pinch, in a moment of fear, in a moment of confusion, needing some intuitiveness, some guidance, something that many of you feel I can offer. And also, you get 20% of all future sessions. So you have about another week. It's the 22nd of September. Again, we all know whose birthday that is. And I offer you to try it. Try it for a month. See if it brings some value, because that's all we're trying to do. I'm trying to create value in your life. What can I do to help you move forward in life? Whether it's move through blocks, whether it's bust through blocks, whether it's to transition through blocks smoothly, whether it's just to guide and get into the flow of things. So I'm here. I appreciate all of you very, very much. So you have 1 week left on the monthly mentorship program. It's $100 a month. It's going to go up to back to $200, and that's for my existing clientele. In the future, it's actually going to be closer to $300, $350. I think I have it down for. So right now it's $200 a month going forward, but for 1 more week, it's $100 a month. Feel free to try me out. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I love each and every one of you, and every those experiences that we have, every one of those experiences that we have moves me on a level that you guys don't even know. This is my life's work, and I appreciate you guys showing up for me, and I'll do my best to show up for you. Have a beautiful day. Many blessings to you.